Right, this is the third and last video on state superstructure because this one's going to be about the obviousness that just disliked and not wanted in terms of the narrative from the people, and secondly, linked to that, the labels, them two things. I mean, there's just nothing about it that's liked. It's like comparing to rapists or something. It's just absolutely disliked. Figures are overwhelming, and it's all round. It's not, well, you know, if there is any demographic that likes them, it's so small, I don't know about it. I can't find it, and I would have seen it surely. And I think that we need to move to something like more focus group ways of running the country and etc. Because these people aren't against each other based on the labels or anything. When I see these focus groups and that comes up, I think it's something that they do at Westminster, or some of us, I admit, think that it's something that other people do, and it's just basically, it's quite clear to me that this conflict from labels, like the party names, it's just a farce anyway. So not only do the people dismiss these, except a few loudmouths exceptions, but also they're a myth. They're a myth. I mean, say Keir Starmer wins a general election, it's just continuity Tory, in the same way that Joe Biden doesn't make any difference because he's a Democrat. I mean, he doesn't get rid of the military, does he? He fights wars. I mean, in America, it's probably a little bit the other way now. The Republicans are more like it, but you know what I mean. It's just like it's a myth. It's like a big myth. And when you look at these labels, they're largely irrelevant. The people very largely don't care much for them. This is because they see them as creating conflict, whereas most people oppose that. They see Tory labels as being something that is for Westminster, and it's them that do that. So in other words, when you do these focus groups, people act like they're equal. You know, it's a bit like when you watch I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out Here, right? You don't see massive division. They just get on with each other. There's no like, no one like acts like they're, I don't know, homophobic or something because someone starts slagging them off. I mean, even Matt Hancock acted like everyone's equal. See what I mean? It's like that. Of course, this very establishment ensures the continuation of these labels for the conflict it requires in order to continue to exist. That's the explanation for that. So we don't. The establishment wouldn't ever say, well, let's just get rid of them then, because they need them. They need them. They have to have them to foster this conflict that make people think they've got free speech and all that blah. But we don't have to go along with that, and we don't. I think in terms of narrative, we've won, and the state superstructure has been largely seen through. On getting rid of the state superstructure, you would have to have an army, almost the power of, well, doesn't have to be as powerful as America, but something more powerful than the British one. So that would do it, obviously. And even then it wouldn't work, because we've got nukes, so... So on physical power, we can't take a state superstructure down, but on narrative, it's finished. They've lost. They're only presiding over us now because of propaganda and power and, you know, that brute force. So some of it's not invisible. It's like it's just a science. I've explained that in the other videos, so I won't go back over that. Those who are without power but still talk like the propaganda state superstructure, they're doing that because they're split off from society now. They've lost, but they've already lost anyway, because they're just they're saying that because they've been propagandised. They fell for it all and they don't even know it by design. Now, because I think the state superstructure it's immoral but it's smart. It's not dumb. Otherwise it would just collapse like a pack of cards 150 years ago. And that's the same for all state superstructures. Everyone in the Western world, and the Eastern world probably. So therefore you have to expose them on their own ground in a way. And one way of doing that with a labelling, to overcome the confusion that they deliberately have put out there, is to think like this. We have 2 or 3 parties in Britain, and I say they are Tory party, and if there's a third one, Tory party. You have to do that. It sounds like you're playing games, but they're playing games. You have to just, so that your mind isn't suffering cognitive dissonance. Because one thing they want is smart people to also be confused. If they get clear, that's not good for them. So there's an Australian journalist, she's radical, Caitlin Johnston. She is the best. She's the best, definitely. She's so smart, it's unbelievable. And she sees through, okay. And she's smart, she's Australian, yet she uses America 100% nearly as an example because her leadership's American. So she orientates them, you see. If she used Australian all the time, she'd be further happy to explain herself. Because they might not know little things. But anyway, so the reason why I use all one part name is to get across that the state superstructure is all one thing. It's like the press and the news media. It might look different, one might taste like strawberry, another like raspberry or whatever, but they're all one. They're all upholding it. So the people become the opposition. So let's get over the ridiculous thing that the Labour's the opposition, the people's the opposition. So, given that the state is smart, not just dumb and immoral, it's immoral, but it's also smart, some of the people are propagandised. So you get someone who's got a false consciousness as a result of being a total victim of propaganda, so they'll get 0 out of 10. But most people score high, definitely. So most people have seen through the superstructure now, not just in Britain. I hear this in France. Obviously I don't know as much about France, but I hear it said. And I hear it said, I know America almost as well as Britain because I'm inundated with them on Twitter and stuff. So yeah, it seems like they've been seen through. But it's just have to be a little aware of the propaganda games. Don't need a degree in it. It's not that difficult. Once you've sussed it, that's it. Like I say, in conclusion, they can't be brought down, but they can be seen through.